my question is, how much is this a move to take on Robinhood, Coinbase in a much larger way in terms of providing a one-stop shop for clients?
Yeah, so if you take a step back on the market, I think a lot of people think of crypto and traditional equities and traditional finance differently, and we don't, which is our core customer base is professional traders, and they exist all over the world very similarly in the way in which they think, eat, and trade. And so Coinbase, we think, and Robinhood in terms of prosumers and people getting onboarded into crypto. And then you have other companies similar to Interactive Brokers that focus on professional trading and day trading. So for us, our goal has always been to be a leader in crypto assets, but also be a leader in the way in which our professional trading and customers and clients want to trade, may that be long-term or short-term. And so this is a part of the path for us to continue to do that. In addition, we went into an agreement to acquire a company called NinjaTrader that focuses on professional trading for retail derivatives. So what you see us doing is just go across a wider range of asset classes, including equities and commodities.
What does it mean for you financially? Because, of course, when you think about Kraken, a lot of investors are awaiting a highly anticipated one-day IPO. What can you tell us about that path and how this helps you get there?
So the most important thing for Kraken is its clients. And what our clients care about is transparency, security, and counterparty risk. And so as we continue to expand globally, not just here in the United States, but Europe, UK, Canada, Australia, and now into Asia, the thing that our clients care about most is that counterparty risk and regulatory clarity. And so what we're seeing is more regulatory clarity and eventually market stability in the crypto ecosystem. And so on behalf of our clients, we'll always want to be transparent with our financials, what we're doing, proof of reserves, et cetera. And if we do decide to go public, it'll be a journey along the way.
Timing is everything, Arjun. I found it so interesting to see your release, because if you think about the business model, right, of Robinhood or a Coinbase, they very much focus on volatility. Volatility drives volume for them and transaction. How much is that a factor for you in this initiative?
So look, if you're thinking about your clients, then you are thinking about all the milestones along the way that is the most important. So as I mentioned before, being transparent with our financials, being transparent with our reserves and their deposits, being transparent about what the products are, making sure that our exchange is fair, right? There's no rebates, there's no discounts to the way in which all of our customers and clients interact with our exchange. That's what's most important. Volatility in the market is volatility in the market. That's always going to be the case. I care more about the slope and the long-term growth for what access to capital markets and debt markets give our customers more than anything else.
Arjun, elsewhere in your portfolio or empire, you were an investor in XAI, and post XAI and X, there's clearly a long-term view to look at payments and look at other financial service offerings there. Could you see working with Linda and the team on something like that?
Yeah, I think what's really important is where our clients and customers are. So today, you can think of us as trading, but there's also products for savings and yield, depending on the type of customer. And then eventually, you can think about payments and remittances in order to facilitate peer-to-peer commerce or business-to-peer commerce. So again, those will be journeys along the way, which is we've created the platform and the infrastructure to be able to provide this, and we're already partnering with folks to do that today. So almost 10% of our transactions today aren't through our experiences; it's through people connecting through our APIs.
Arjun, one question I have. As a former private investor in so many ways, you're very familiar with the XAI story. But what about the potential for tokenization to make assets like this more public? How quickly can you get there?
So technologically, we can get there tomorrow, right? It's more about regulatory clarity. What is the legal and client relationship? How do you think about which assets, real world assets that we talk about bringing on into crypto and making it programmable. So what I'd say is that what we're doing now, given that the future of trading is pretty much borderless, it's around the clock, it's 24/7, and crypto rails has allowed that, is that this lays the groundwork not just for myself, but the other exchanges worldwide to be able to provide equities and digitize them to become more programmable. So tokenization of equities is a term you hear a lot about. I think when you think about global liquidity pools and global access to capital, and then demand for these assets, no matter where they might be in the US or Europe, I actually think this lays a great groundwork for companies to start thinking about how they should list, who they should work with, and where those global liquidity pools come from.